And I showed how I bred them in like this dirty tank with no filter, and they just community bred in there, and I had multiple generations and stuff.
So like in a tank,
I finally broke it down and collected them all.
So you just broke it down.
Yeah, and I pulled out like 30 babies out of them.
So the way, what I'm gathering is like you've got like these ecosystem tanks. So like this tank here.
Yeah.
It's no filter, you know, it's got like one crypt here, a substrate, and then all these rocks. Can you explain to me like how that actually works? Like,
yeah, that's a good question, because that's everybody's like main question, and what they don't quite wrap their head around is how it works. So it's not the substrate doing it. It's not the rocks doing it. It's not the plants doing it. It's the biologically sound water. So a lot of people, especially if you live in the city, you got more sterile water where they put chlorine, chloramine in it, which means it doesn't have that living essence of all the microbiology that is within the water.
So they kill all the like tiny little living things that are inside the water.
Right. So which in essence, so fish have this slime coat on them.
Yeah.
And if you have sterile water, which fish can live in for a while, but the more biologically sound it is, the softer it is on their slime coat. So this is why a lot of fish will have problems from like when you ship them, or maybe too much ammonia. Like say they put super clean in water in there, and then you get it and it's got ammonia burns. That slime coat's coming off. It's like putting a fish in an acid bath.
Okay.
Yeah, so the difference is you have that like film, that biofilm. So the biofilm in your aquarium is doing so much good work for people, especially for the fish. So if you have that natural biofilm built on all that microbiology, then it does its thing. Like I'm essentially keeping fancy mud puddles in glass boxes.
Okay.
So I think about it as how you would look out at nature. Now, a lot of fish do come from rivers and creeks. They flow, but they also have dry seasons. And
that's what I'm saying.
As a kid, there would be spots of that creek that would just turn into pools and ponds.
Like that's why I've never filtered my water with chemicals.
Because that was the only water left.
I'm running spring water.
It was really wild to see how many fish would live in those little pools and puddles. And that happens with all these fish. I didn't really think about it until I got older, when it was right in front of my face this whole time. But I finally put two and two together as far as looking how fish do in nature, where they don't always have that flow.
So just so I can understand better, so it's not the substrate.
I actually like this guy.
It's not the plants.
Not the plants.
It's the water.
It's the water.
Okay. So this water you get is from a well?
Yeah, it's from a well, so I can just...
He got well water. Okay. I'm running spring water.
But it's just like got like...
What kind of water are you running?
Yeah, just because it's really high in iron and sulfur and...
Everything that they like to live in.
Quality right here.
Okay, but when you put the water in, how do you get that water to do what you've got it doing here? Like if you're like in town or whatever.
So if you're in town and if you got it to do, this is...
I love this guy. I'm gonna have to save him, but I gotta like stop recording because it's gonna take forever to upload this.
To less water changes was the fact that the town would flush the...
Less water changes.
And when you keep super rare fish, you're like the only person with them. And if they flush that system, you lose your fish.
That's game over.
Game over. They don't care. They're not gonna warn you. So I had learned that they usually do it in the spring and fall for you guys in the city. So just be careful doing water changes spring and fall. Maybe
there you go, buddy.
Smell it before you do your water change, because you can usually smell those chemicals coming through when they put excess.
You said you lost your fish before.
If it's just a normal day, you're doing water changes, you're not flushing stuff, I would say just stick to the lower water changes. So what you got to think about, that's why I would do 25 to 50%.
Yeah.
Is because you got to think is that new water's got to become bioactive.
Yeah.
So that's why it's good to cycle a tank when you get a new tank and you're in the city. So I can instantly do fish in here because I'm on a well. It's already lively.
But he has a well, and I use spring water. That's what I was getting at before when I told you that my fish are different than what you had.
With sterile water.
You're not running spring or well water, I'm guessing. And I get nothing but spring water, but
let it go.
You gotta just
in there to help, or maybe one guppy,
couple snails and guppies. All right, gotta go. I'm gonna pause this. I gotta stop the video.